We are up on this camera right over here on ClickOnDetroit.com on the live stream, so that means that we have migrated. So all of you watching on my page, Jason Carr TV, at Jason Carr TV on Facebook, please, at this time, go to ClickOnDetroit.com and click on the live stream. Why are you shaking your head?
I was answering Matt's question.
All right. Good morning, everybody, on ClickOnDetroit.com on the live stream. Jason Carr coming to you live, having migrated the feed from my Facebook page to our website. And here you see, Click on Detroit, the homepage, wide variety of topics. We have the Olympic Games Daily Viewer Guide to Rio 2016, local headlines, including Ozone Action Day, with temperatures reaching into the mid-90s today. Not as humid as they were originally expecting, but still, this is an air quality alert sort of occasion. Executive producer in the morning, Matt Morowski, is running the slideshow, I guess you could say.
Sure, yeah.
What's going on? What are we talking about?
Well, as you mentioned, Ozone Action Day is a big one for today, and I think maybe in a little bit we'll bring Brandon in and discuss what the heck an Ozone Action Day is, because you hear about it all the time, but what does that mean? We'll get into that. But one of our first topics...
Right here, let's get it.
Yep, one of our first topics is a Mexican gymnast who is actually being, I guess they call fat-shamed on...
Get a shot of that.
On Twitter. So people think this gymnast, who is under 5 feet tall and weighs 100 pounds, is overweight. So we want to know what you think about it. Personally, I don't think she is at all overweight. She's very athletic. Obviously, she's an Olympian, so you can't just become an Olympian by messing around. So she's very well trained and in shape. There's one of the things that people post that's a Peppa Pig. So kind of rude there.
In relation to her?
In relation to her.
See, there's no end to the amount of trolling that goes on in these situations. People will find fault in pretty much anything, but we understand. I can see on the monitor over there that we're having a little bit of a glare problem right here with our height and angle and you know, the dark background of the photo. So, as I said, we're experimenting with this. So the experimenting will continue, and we'll eliminate glare in future references. What do we have next on our topic list?
Next we have...
Oh, geez.
Who's ready?
Now, Matt, I have one child. She's 5.5. She's going to be starting kindergarten. This guy right here is the proud father of 3.
3.
And you got to be tearing your hair out about the whole back to school shopping thing.
Yeah. We're going to go backpack shopping this weekend. They've been talking about it. Backpacks are a big deal in my house. We have a lot of backpacks. They need a new one for every year. But yeah, these ads are starting to show up on our Facebook feed, in the little flyers you get in the mail, all that stuff. I think it's a little early. But
Show us the flyers. You have more than one.
yes, there's Target. This is Kmart, JCPenney. Just about everywhere you go, they'll have it. We recently talked about Kroger having Halloween stuff out already, which that's way early for that. But I guess it's time. A couple of schools. I was talking to somebody today. There's some charter schools, some teachers who are going back Monday to start preparing. They start before Labor Day, but my kids start after Labor Day, as I do think a lot of public schools, or most public schools, start the day after Labor Day. So I don't know. I can't believe it's already happening. It's the end of summer.
In summer.
Right.
That movie seems like yesterday, and it was already almost 3 years ago.
Right.
Finally, a hot topic, if you guys want to chime in on at Jason Carr TV on Facebook or the Local 4 page on Twitter. This stock photo illustration of Matt actually found this. I don't know where he found it, but these two are holding hands. Well, that's going on right there. If this guy is 29 or 39, even though he doesn't have any gray hair, he is statistically apparently more likely to cheat.
A 29er, I guess, 29er, 39er, 49er?
Yeah, 9-ender.
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 Yes. So I guess I don't know if they're having trouble passing over that hump into an older age and reevaluating their life. I don't know. I'm past a 29er, approaching a 39er, I guess.
All right, well, if you want to comment on that, that's definitely one of our talkers today. Matt, thank you, as always, all your hard behind-the-scenes work. Totally underappreciated and not... If you see this guy at Meyer in Canton, make sure that you come up to him and ask for an autograph, because he's waiting. Kroger. He's waiting to be recognized from having been on one of these live feeds. Are you ready to go mobile?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. We're going to go over to our studio over here. Walk with me. Da-na-na-na-na. You're getting a tour of the Local 4 newsroom, such as it were. Hey, what's going on?
What's happening? Hello there.
Our ad hoc panel, including Guy Gordon. What's going on?
Speak Latin.
Guy Gordon, everybody. Surprise guest.
Nobody ever speaks Latin anymore. They say it's a dead language. And look at Jason
Car
Carr.
carpe diem, people. Carpe diem. Listen to this guy. John, what? This is your bike right here. You are a resident of downtown Detroit. You are how old?
I am 27 years old.
And why did you decide to move downtown? Why don't you live like in Royal Oak or Ferndale or one of the other prior? Not to say they're not hip still, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm not about the commute. I wanted to live right next to work. I live 6 blocks away, and I ride my bike every day.
You know a good traffic reporter.
I do. I know the best routes every day and the best commutes.
There's a book out called Detroit City is the Place to Be by Mark Benelli, and he talks about hipsters riding bikes through bad neighborhoods, and the people who live in those neighborhoods saying, look at those crazy hipsters, don't they know they could get shot? If you heard or read that, what would your reaction be?
You're driving through the wrong neighborhood. You got to live downtown. You got to live in Midtown or Corktown where it's safer. If I was over on the west side or east side making that commute, I'd totally agree, but I'm only 6 blocks away. I'm pretty close.
Let's bring in Kari. Kari, you grew up in Detroit. You now live in Southfield. What? Give me your take.
Well, see, I live. My mother still lives where I was born, grown up. So, which is Joy and Evergreen, Southfield area. So, even though those places are considered very rough, depending on who you're talking to, like this it's just normal to me. So, like that kind of stuff has never bothered me. I feel comfortable wherever I am. Conversely, the reason I stay in the suburbs is financially. So, I have a Meijer right down the street from me. I have.
You have convenience.
Exactly, and like that's to me that's the stuff that I need in order to get, what I need to get done, whenever. So I mean I love my city and all that jazz, but like downtown if you have to take a actual like 10-20 minute car ride to get to a Target, I don't have time for that.
Well, all right. He says, ain't nobody got time for that. He's got bronchitis.
Well, no, and the convenience is an issue. I mean, most days if I'm going to get groceries, I've got to ride to Eastern Market or the Honeybee Market, and I can only take what I can fit on the rack of my bike or what I can put in my backpack. So it's always making trips almost daily just to be able to get groceries and lunches to bring to work and all the essentials. So it is a convenience issue. There's days where I'm always looking for a buddy who's got a ride for me. But I'm not paying the car insurance, which is outrageous in Detroit. I'm not making the trips to the gas station, and it's been working out so far. But come winter, that might change.
All right. Give me your take, Kim. Kim, I mean, you live downtown.
I do live downtown. I've lived downtown for about 6 months, and it was a decision I made once I started working here. I was very adamant about finding a place downtown, which I thought was going to be a lot easier than it was, to be honest. There was so many places saying, oh, we're opening up in March of next year. I'm like, that's great, but what about right now? And actually, it took a long time for me to find something, so I had to wait at my parents' house for a couple of months, which was fine. But then I got into a great place, and I love the commute. Like you, I don't want a long commute, especially because we start work pretty early around here for us AM newsers. But I love the activity going on downtown. There's just this just lively atmosphere that I love being a part of, and I felt like, actually I have a lot of friends who started working at Quicken Loans and started living downtown. There's like some sort of incentive for living downtown, and they were telling me how great it is, and I could not agree more. I'm really happy.
Yeah, and Detroit offers an opportunity that most cities don't. I've got a friend who just moved to Seattle, and he's got an apartment that's half the size of mine, and he's paying 3 times as much. It's not really an opportunity for a lot of people in other cities, but in Detroit, you really have a price point that makes sense.
But it only really makes sense to people like that too, because we're also talking about there might be a subset of folks who are maybe like in these these high rises or some of these places that had been there for years, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, your $700 rent is now $15. You know what I mean? And like somebody from Seattle, that might be a steal, but if you've been paying relatively cool numbers for you for many years, and then all of a sudden, because there's this uptick in, you know, people coming to the city, that all of a sudden those numbers double. It's like, man, it's rough out here. So
It's rough out here for a Schwinn Latour. $100 on eBay, did you say?
Craigslist.
Craigslist. Let's get like a nice tour. Now, tell me what we're looking at here is.
Looking at a 73 Schwinn Latour. I've got the generator light on the back and a nice rack, and put new tires onto it, and I've got extra tubes in my backpack, so hopefully I don't pop one. But with these potholes, you never know.
You know, joking aside, I lived in downtown Flint back in the day for almost 7 years, and there were people that said, well, are you insane? Why aren't you out in Grand Blanc? I said, downtown is great. I mean, this was before they turned it into like a small little college town, with U of M Flint being right there. There's Buckham Alley, there's restaurants, there's bars, night spots. I felt totally safe. I had to walk from my apartment to a separate garage building to get my car, but I felt like I was leaving the Batcave when I came out of that garage. I was right across from City Hall and Police and Fire, and I loved downtown living.
Right. And I think that that's something that, you know, anybody will say to you. And it's a good thing about pretty much any city like that. It's like Detroit has always been one of those places that people have a tendency to talk bad about. But the reality is it's really no different than any other big city. Like you have your downtown hub where everything happens and all visitors go to. And then you have the places on the outskirts that might not be, you know, up to the standards of those visitors, but you know, but there's still real people there living their lives and not doing anything wrong. So, you know, like same thing with Flint. Like, you know, it's just people just being people, and then you got downtown where people will visit, but they, you know, tell you you're weird for being there. I'll never get it, but.
You're weird.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, hang on. Now, here comes the weird experimental sort of fourth wall breaking aspect of this. I am literally leaving our set and walking over to where the control room is for that set, where all of these guys have been watching this video unfold. How's it going? Hi, Ken. Ian, come on over. I see you guys scurrying back and forth. We're in the middle of doing this live stream. How's it going?
So far, so good. Working out a couple kinks, new system, new idea here, and we'll get there. You know, it's fun. It's fun to try to explore with this stuff online. It's a whole new platform. I mean, obviously, it's not a new platform, but for us, doing online shows in this industry is new and different, and we're just experimenting and trying things. And I think the viewers will get to see a lot of stuff that they don't normally get to see. The inner workings of the newsroom, the process at which we are getting their stories on a daily basis, and I think they'll start to enjoy it.
And we just irised up so we could see us a little better because we were in shadow there.
I think it was probably better if we don't see me. It's just in darkness.
Ken, is anybody watching this right now? Millions. At least 1 million. All right. We migrated from Facebook Live over to the ClickOn. So I think I might have to take this for a spin.
Oh, please. Yeah. You get to hold. Let's see this.
Are you insured?
No, not insured.
I'm on the hook for $100 if I wreck your bike.
Yeah, with new tires, you know, we'll come up with an estimate. Yeah, I don't know exactly. We'll see what it costs.
Replacement cost.
Yeah.
You can't get it for 100.
Bye, Jason.
Yeah, that's not coming back. He's gone.
Well, he has a car. If you want the
Oh,
car.
he'll take the bike. I'll take his car.
Yeah,
What
I
does
think
Jason
he just
drive?
made a trip.
So wait, since he's on a bike, does that, like, you have to add an extra E at the end and he becomes like
Carr, like Jason Carr, double R. Is that what you're doing?
that's what I was going for.
I got it. I got you.
Appreciate it.
No, you got to move the gears around and you find the right sweet spot.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Who here is approaching a decade birthday? Let's see. You said you're 27.
27.
Not saying.
Not saying.
33, I don't mind.
So you're past 30.
Right.
You're not yet 30.
No.
I'm past 40. So none of us are in the boat of the 9 enders. Have you heard about the 9 enders?
No, what is this?
If you're 29, 39, or 49, you're more likely to cheat
On your spouse?
on your spouse or your significant other.
I did not know this. I'm single.
I'm 33. Does that mean anything?
No.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, sweet. Rock and roll.
We're all good.
Do you know anybody in your social circle that's 29 or 19, 29, 39, or 49?
My brother just turned 30.
So he's in the clear.
Oh, so
You have to be a 9-ender. So
Right now?
29, 39, 49, 50. If you're one of those 9s, you're more.
for the whole year, though?
Yeah, you're just more likely to.
He was in trouble. He was getting into trouble.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what Jason's
I
saying.
thought you meant
Last
just
year he
this
was
year
getting into
in
trouble.
particular. Oh, so he's in the clear.
Now.
He's
now.
clear now.
Okay, got it.
She's like, okay, clear, got it.
I don't know.
Okay, once again, we want to remind you that coming up after the Olympics, Live in the D will be back off of hiatus and back in full effect at 10 a.m. on Local 4 on the regular television, whether you have cable or satellite or the rabbit ears. Let me guess, you probably have rabbit ears, don't you?
No, I don't. I don't have a television at the moment.
Oh, there you see.
Okay, that concludes this edition of That Which What We're Not. Oh, you're such a hipster. Are we're going to go get a baguette somewhere now?
For
Or?
a TV station.
He works at. That's it. We're done. David, cut this off. We're over.